We are Carlson Rezidor. We are a hotel company that is focused on hospitality, that's focused on people. This is the trade that we are in. We have 430 hotels in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East under the company, which is publicly listed in Stockholm. The company forms part of a wider affiliation, and that's the Carlson Group, with 1,300 hotels. We operate in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East under 5 brands in all categories. That is in the luxury segment, in the upper upscale segment, in the upscale segment, in the lifestyle select segment, and in the economy segment. So we're very focused on 5 distinct sectors in which we trade in this part of the world. At the end of the day, this is the company, but we are people. People who are running the business of the company, and which is a people's business. 90,000 people united by one vision, and that is, yes, I can. Our vision is to create memorable moments for our guests, for our employees, for all our stakeholders. If you look at the hotel industry, if you go back, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, it has also always been based on inexperience. It has always been a long-term investment from a real estate perspective. It has always been an investment that went from father to son to grandson to grandson. But over the years, from an investment perspective, it has been a little bit more commoditized. A little bit. It's been transactions have made it a bit of a commodity. The hotel offering has always gone through evolutions and continues to go through evolutions, like any commodity. If you look at the car industry, the offering of the car industry, of any other industry, has significantly changed for the last 15 years. And the same is going through our own industry. We are going through an evolution. We have to be more responsive to the evolving needs of the guest. And they are evolving, specifically with the new generation. That will be becoming our new consumer for the next 15 to 20 years. And we have to prepare our products to respond to those evolving needs. And one of our preparations has been to create recently and to launch Radisson Red, our new lifestyle select brand that is being designed specifically in response to the needs of that consumer. But the story doesn't end here. It's an evolution. And in 5 years down the line, we have to evolve again, and the offering will have to change again and again and again. The main features that is changing is, I would say, to some extent, the hardware and the distribution. The software is not evolving. You need always to smile in reception. You always need to prepare good food. You always need to have the good service. That is not necessarily evolving as much. But maybe the attitude aspects of it is evolving. The guest wants more freedom. The guest wants to be more engaging with the staff of your hotel. So you need to fine-tune your software. But from a hardware perspective, of course, you need to be much more IT-driven. Technology is becoming much more important today than what it was 10 years ago. So this is one of the key evolutionary aspects of the business. The guest wants more social spaces in your hotels. So you need to adapt your hardware to respond to those needs. And as time goes by, I think we have to be more evolving in our offering. But one thing will not change, one thing will not evolve, is the service software aspect of the industry. That is not going to change. Whether we make our hotels blue, red, or yellow, that will remain. People are traveling more. People, if you look back for the last 5 years, there have been a continuous increase in global tourism. Today, we are at 1.1 billion tourists traveling every year. I genuinely don't see a tremendous change in the individual travelers. What is changing is probably in the pattern in which they are making their reservations, in the patterns in which they are booking their hotels, in the pattern in which they are sharing information amongst clients, amongst guests, which is highly influencing the choice of the traveler. This is changing, that I agree. And a response to that, we are much more digitalized in our distribution. We are much more focused on our digital distribution channels, be it internal distribution or internal digitalization, that is boosting and investing more in our digital platforms to attract the guests to book through our own websites, to our own brand.coms, and also to be much more engaging with the digital world, the booking.coms, the expedias.coms, in order to make sure that we are there when the customer goes to make his or her booking. This is my simplistic, I would say, approach to the situation. Is there more traveling? Absolutely yes. Is there more leisure and weekend traveling? Absolutely yes.
Just come back to the question.
Yes.
Travel trade.
Yes. Our presence in the country, being present in the key cities, Warsaw, Krakow, Szczecin, Gdansk. And we see that the domestic travel and domestic tourism travel is picking up. Hence, we have also shifted our focus for development towards those destinations. 3 out of our 4 hotels under development are located in local domestic leisure destinations, Świnoujście, Klaszka Boryba, Zakopane, and we do believe that there is market for that in order to even explore more of such destinations. But that does not mean that we would not look into other city primary, secondary cities to look into those opportunities. But we do recognize that leisure is becoming a more important component of our business model.
Yeah, this is the general situation in Poland, and we know that this kind of requests.
Yes.
We continue to have close collaborations with the travel agencies. As you well know, one of our affiliate companies is one of the largest business travel planner, Carlson Rezidor, producing a couple of billions of room nights in income every year. So we have very close collaborations with them. The question is, which I think you want to dwell on, is the extent to which the business model of travel agencies is going to be sustained in the future, given the digitalization of the consumers. I think there will need to be a certain evolution in their own business models, the travel agencies, as we move forward. And adapt to the digital world. But for us and our relationships with them, it continues to be strong. We continue to collaborate with travel agencies and tour operators, specifically, of course, when it comes to the leisure destinations. And but they, I think, would need to some extent have a certain evolution in their business model, because the consumer is becoming much more digitalized. And would the same travel agency exist in the same business model 20 years from today versus what it is today? I would want to question that.
In the future in Poland, to develop your...
Today we have 8 hotels in development.
In
operations, and 4 under development. Recently, given the economic development of Poland, given the size of the country, given our belief in the country, we have identified it as one of our key focus countries to grow our business. And we see us growing in capital cities and the secondary cities, mainly through the development of our mid-scale brand, that is Park Inn by Radisson, and eventually to establish Radisson Red, which is our new lifestyle select brand, in Krakow and in Warsaw. So it's a journey that we have designed over the next 3 years that could potentially see us doubling our portfolio in the country.
Well, the Polish market has grown significantly. It's strong. You can see that it's becoming more and more dynamic. You see that the international visitors are picking up, both in Krakow and in Warsaw. We feel very strong. You know, your infrastructure has continued to evolve. Economy is growing, so those secondary, primary markets, they are very promising. We are well present in the key source markets of Poland, meaning Scandinavia for Tri-City, Germany for most of the country, the UK. We are the largest operator in Russia and CIS. So we see that both to cater the domestic market, we have the presence already here, which we will continue to grow, and to do the international market, we are well presented in those key source markets.
The future.
Yes.
Hotel business.
The future of the hotel business.
Your vision.
Vision is, people may stop buying houses or they may stop buying jewelry, but I think people will never stop traveling. The human being is becoming much more driven by experience rather than by commodity. And this in itself is a great sign that the travel and tourism industry will only grow. It has been growing. We are above 1.1 billion. And I think it will grow, it will continue to grow. There has been an interesting study actually recently that said that it has taken the world 2,000 years to have 1 billion people traveling between countries. But it will only take another 20 years to have 2 billion people traveling across continents. So from a macro perspective, specifically if you look at China and the outbound, the opportunities there, India and Latin America, so there is this only growth ahead of us, both in leisure and business. But of course, there will be troughs and peaks. Of course, there will be some geopolitical circumstances that could sometimes hinder growth in some markets, but overall picture is certainly on the rise. It has been. There's no reason why it shouldn't continue to be. People will go after authenticity. People will go after an experience. People will continue to travel.
Wishes and invitation, just as it goes. What kind of wishes you may have for your clients?
You have to wish for peace, I think, to start with, because this is a big wish that we need today in the world. Peace amongst the different nations and the planet, and wish for less wars and less epidemics, because and less natural disasters, because those wishes have a significant impact on our industry, more than many other industries. So I would wish for peace. I would wish for more globalization, for everybody to think global, but to be much more local in their approach. And that would be my personal wish.
For the future, will continue to be our focus, to attract the business into those hotels, to keep close relationships, to continue inviting those stakeholders, to focus on the Yes I Can approach for both the guests, our employees, and the stakeholders of our business. So the message is the same. The experience on how to bring the message will evolve, like it has already evolved from the past until today. But I see, especially for Poland and also for Europe, eventually a very bright future.
Probably it's an invitation for collaboration, continued intra-sector collaboration between the digital world, between the travel agents, between the hotels, all stakeholders in the industry. There's an opportunity to improve that collaboration. And that's an invitation to collaborate more.
Peacefully.
No, yeah, peacefully, of course, but collaboration, I think there's a lot of optimization that can be achieved across the industry by collaborating more with various stakeholders across the industry, but also more collaboration between the private and the public sector that has not been optimized in many markets today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dziękuję.